second. All right, and I'm just checking in. Anaya, yay, Anaya's here. Okay, so we are, we're going to be taking it up to a kind of a more complex level in today's Adore Your Core class. A lot more standing poses, a lot more belly poses. And so, Sarah, I'm still thinking of your little tiny baby in your belly, and I want you to consider how it feels to be on your belly and whether baby's affected by that or you're affected by that. And we can either put pillows under your breasts and under your abdomen, kind of under your pubic bone, or tops of your legs while you're on your belly, so that your belly's hanging kind of in between those, like straddling, which is actually going to make it harder for you to do the work, or you can do it against the wall. So we can do those options. But here, the things I want to plant seeds with you on before we get started today is to consider what it means to move in an awkward way, so non-habitual ways. We want to lean into things that feel different. If it feels easy, then odds are that we're in a habitual pattern that is actually probably not serving us. I did a really awesome training. You know, I've done this particular teacher training. I did another teacher training a couple of weeks ago with this incredible biomechanist who is all about functional movement and nutritious movement. And the big takeaway I took from her was that everything we do, just sitting here right now, the way you're sitting is exercise. The way you stand up and sit back down is exercise. And the problem that we have in our culture today is that we're basically always doing the same set of exercises. And what happens when you do the same set of exercises is you develop just one certain group of muscles, and then we become more reliant on those groups of muscles. So what I want you to find as we're moving today is and throughout the week, the upcoming week, is to find some ways to move that feel less normal to you, which coincidentally will help you to remember to switch on your deep core muscles as you're moving. So that's one of the things that I want you to kind of geek out on as we practice today. And I'm going to check in with each of you now, and I want everyone to say where they are, because we didn't get to that last week, physically, like where do you live, where are you based? And I want you to commit and share with us one movement, one habitual thing you do each day. I mean, I am talking literally, like it could be the way you brush your teeth. Are you going to try and do it with the other hand? Like, wouldn't that be weird? Or can you stand differently when you're brushing your teeth? Or are you going to sit down on the toilet differently? I don't know, like just what's something you do every single day that you can try doing differently. So I want to hear what that is going to be for you. And I'll start with Kelsey, because she was first into class. Go for it, Kelsey.
Okay, good morning. I live in North Edmonds, which is north of Seattle, in the forest, which is awesome. And I am going to commit to, I'm trying to think.
I know it's hard.
Like, I'm first. I'm going to commit to, whenever I'm in the kitchen, kind of just standing differently.
Yep, we do that a lot. We stand in the kitchen a lot, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so just stand differently. Even in a different spot in the kitchen might feel different, might be enough to change it up a bit. Thank you. And Miss Daisy, you've got babies that are awake. What's going on? Oh, and we can't hear you very well, honey. Oh, it's probably because the microphone's on your back.
Come back to me.
There we go. Oh, did we lose you altogether? Okay, Daisy, I'm going to mute you while you figure that out, and we'll get on to Sarah. Okay, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi. We can't see you very well. You're hiding.
Oh, I probably should I can turn the lights on.
No, you don't have to do that. No, it's okay.
Uh,
Oh, that seems a bit harsh.
yeah, that probably helps. I live in Seattle, like right in the middle of Seattle. And I think I'd like to, I don't know if this is sort of what you're looking for. I think I'd like to work on carrying my son differently. Thinking about that. He's 2, but he still wants to be carried all the time everywhere. So I think that's something to think about.
And maybe you want to think about how you pick him up differently?
Yeah.
Try some different ways of picking him up.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And then maybe if you have one dominant hip, can you try putting him on the other hip?
Yeah.
For a little while. Cool. All right. And Anaya, good morning.
Morning. My name is Anaya, and I live near Blair, Incarnation. I guess brushing my teeth is always something I want to do differently because it's like 2 minutes that I want to capture in my life. But usually I'm just spaced out walking around the house. So in my past, I've been like, I'm going to do squats while I brush my teeth. But I think I need to practice this breathing. And I think that could be a decent way to do it while I'm brushing my teeth,
Cool. Like it doesn't have to be a full-on workout. It could just be even putting your feet in a different posture, a different position. You might notice that you're always putting your feet the same way and leaning in a certain way. So can you just make it feel weird? Like actually maybe like turn sideways while you're brushing your teeth, or I don't know, like, but that's a good, but to physically like feel for awkward. Like I'm going to look at myself in the mirror this way while I brush my teeth. And that in and of itself might start switching on some more core muscles.
Okay.
Cool. And Miss Roz.
Hi.
Hi. Is that coffee or bone broth?
Oh, no, tea.
Good girl.
Yes. And it's lavender tea, lavender Earl Grey. So I get some relaxation with the caffeine.
Ooh.
Yes. So I live in Carnation, and everything I do feels awkward these days because my hip hurts so much. So I feel like I'm moving all sorts of new ways, and I can feel my body even when I'm just sitting. So any sort of movement is sort of painful these days.
Well, you move a lot with your job, right? You're constantly in gardens and trudging around the farm and
yes,
a lot.
And I did a lot of picking yesterday, so it really hurts. But yeah, I guess maybe I could think about getting out of bed with more purpose and differently. That might be an interesting way.
Do you usually kind of sit up or do you roll to your side?
I roll to my side.
Cool. All right. And then do you just like get one leg out of the bed and glomp out onto the floor, or do you scooch on over? Or
well, these days it's however I can get the bed. Yes, I think I just sort of like scooch out and try to really guard everything. Because I don't know how much it's going to hurt. Like I can feel the aches when I wake up, but chances are I've actually probably been up for a while.
I'm wondering if you could roll to the opposite side to what you normally roll to, like not rolling onto Steve, obviously, but just go onto the other shoulder and scooch out, like essentially backwards.
Okay.
And just see what happens.
Okay.
It's a different habit that you could play around with.
All right.
I'm going to try that too. Like, it sounds like I'm going to geek out on that. I'm going to do that this week as well.
All right.
Get out of bed from the other side, but still from the same side. You know what I mean? You're not swapping side. Anyway, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're not swapping with Steve. You're just rolling onto the non-habitual shoulder to scooch out that way.
Got it. Okay.
And see how, don't fall out of bed, please.
Yeah.
Because you're going backwards. You're like going, you're reversing off the side of the bed.
That's all I need.
Hey, Miss Daisy, can we hear you now?
Maybe I took off the microphone.
There we go.
Yeah. So I watched your in the car breathing and exercise. Anyway, so I've been trying to do that. Just using that kind of dead space of time that I'm using. I'm in the car at least half an hour each day, probably more, to try to do the breathing. And my posture there, to not just slouch, but try to engage muscles. And yeah.
Nice. So you're going to keep working on the car?
Yeah.
Working in the car. Cool. And you're in Utah now, right? Or you're in Florida yet? You're not in Florida yet, right?
No, I'm in Utah.
Okay.
So Ross just got here yesterday evening. He's driving cross country. So I'm doing airplanes with the kids.
Wow. Okay. Well, let us get started now. You're all sitting. So how are you sitting? Can you sit yourself into a more supported posture? I'm going to move you all up to my big screen and just start checking in with how you're breathing. Close your eyes and notice how you're breathing. Oh, Brooke's having trouble getting in on the link this morning. Strange. Let's see if we can give it to her again. She's trying to get in through Facebook, apparently. Okay, Miss Brooke, let's see if you can get on in. And just let you in. All right, so Sarah, I hope you're able to join us. Now I'm wearing my ice cream sweater today. I bought this for my birthday, which is on Friday, because I thought, you know what, I'm going to wear ice cream sweater to a core class because, you know, we should still be able to eat ice cream even if we're trying to like strengthen our core. In fact, I believe it's very important that we do that. But I'm going to take it off now because I'm getting hot already. All right. So now that you're comfortable and you're breathing and you're sitting and all of those really important things, can you bring one hand to your lower abdomen and one hand to kind of your upper abdomen where your diaphragm is, so where we were working last week and now where we're going to be working this week. And you can have your eyes closed or open, mama's choice. I want you to begin by breathing into the upper hand, feeling that expansion, and then keep breathing until the lower hand is feeling kind of expanded. And then as you exhale from the lower hand first, and then the upper hand. So you've got two steps each time. Inhale here to here, and then exhale, contract here, and then here. Inhale, top to bottom, bottom to top. Anyone not feeling that or not able to kind of find that rhythm? Okay, everyone's doing it. Very good. And as you're doing this, can you also just notice in your interoception, can you notice how your pelvic floor, the basket that lives at the base here just above your vagina, how is that little basket engaging or contributing to the lower half of your abdominals? And if it's not doing anything, can you just imagine that the basket is lifting as you exhale? A little tiny contraction in this basket as you exhale, which requires lifting up from the lower abdomen as you exhale. And many of us, when we think of pelvic floor exercises and we think of, say, Kegels, or we think of, basically, we're thinking of the sphincter. We're thinking of the vaginal sphincter, or the sphincters. There's a couple of them around there. And we're not interested in those right now. We're not interested in stopping any wheeze. We just want to feel the basket, all of the layers of fascia and muscles and ligaments that are all holding all your organs in the base of your belly. Hello, little Sky. Little jet-lagged Sky. Now, with this awareness, let's come into that chakra vakasana, or the wheel, the rocking back and forth on the hands and the knees. And I want you to start the movement with the 2-part exhale, and then we're going to move up to the 3-part exhale. So once you're on hands and knees, and you inhale with your neutral spine, keeping the ribs tucked, and then exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the lower back, and kind of dragging the arms back. Let the head hang heavy, get halfway, and then exhale further through the nose. Let the head come down to the floor. Inhale slowly as you come back up. Notice if you arch the spine and just recruit the core, the diaphragm to pull your ribs back up, and then exhaling once, halfway back, and then exhale the whole way. Really allowing your upper half of your body to kind of be dragged back. It's complete ragdoll at the top. We're just using the lower back and the lower core to drag you back and hold you together. And either stay with the 2-part exhale or up it to 3-part exhale. So exhaling a little bit, then exhaling a little bit more, and then exhaling all the way back. And the reason you're doing that is you're using it to get lower and lower and lower into your abdominals. So feel for what's happening in the basket of your pelvic floor, and notice perhaps if you're able to exhale from the top, then exhale from the middle, then exhale all the way from the bottom. So you're getting kind of deeper and deeper into the core. Oh, there's Stephanie. I'll let you in, honey. Hope we can see you this week. There she is. Hi, beautiful. And we're doing our wheel, Miss Stephanie, if you couldn't see us. Let's do 4 more, really slowly, like exaggerating how slow you can go. And Sarah, I don't want you to feel breathless at all here. If there's a baby in your belly, we don't want to be holding the breath. So you're allowed to move a little bit faster if you'd like. But if you don't have a baby in your belly, then you can really kind of push yourself on that exhale. How long can you move backward as you're exhaling? Really exaggerating the sloth-like movement back and forward. When you've finished 4 rounds, come on down to your belly, please. And Sarah, I'll just want to show you kind of what your option could be if you don't feel comfortable on the belly, is you can literally set a couple of cushions so that the tops of your legs to the base of your pubic bone are on the floor, and then your chest are on the pillows. But otherwise, everyone's on the floor, belly on the floor, hands back down by your sides, and palms are touching the floor. So you've got this kind of open shoulder setup. Let me make sure everyone's looking all right. Yeah, and that's going to require you to work extra hard to hold your belly up and not let it sink down towards the floor, Sarah. And once you're there, hands flat on the floor, and you can, if you find that when if your forehead is on the floor, for example, and that feels really, really uncomfortable, you can use a block or a cushion to elevate your forehead slightly so that you can breathe. But it's okay to put your ear to the ground as well if you prefer. And start your abdominal breathing here, lifting the diaphragm as you exhale, and also trying to get down to those lower transverse in the lower quadrants, which may feel like you're lifting the belly off the ground slightly. Is this hurting anyone's back where you are already? Oh, palms up, palms down. It's hurting Roz because of your sore hip. So make sure palms down, Anaya. Palms are facing on, flat on the ground. And Roz, if this is hurting for you, I would prefer you to be doing this on your hands and knees. And that's an option for you as well, Sarah. If the cushion situation's getting uncomfortable, we can do this work from hands and knees or from forearms and knees. But let me show you the Shalambhasana from your belly, palms on the ground. You're going to inhale the head up after you exhale and recruit all of those muscles all the way down to the pelvic bowl, and then inhale, lifting the head, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground, keeping the chin tucked, and hands can be on the floor, or you can lift the hands just half an inch or so off the floor, and then exhale, head back down again. Let me show one more time. Inhaling as you lift the head and shoulders off the ground, not going so far that it hurts the back, but that you might find a little bit of contraction happening in around your multifidi and your sacrum. And then exhale, head back down. So I'm going to watch you. Let's do this about 3 more times. And I can show you, Roz, from hands and knees if you're interested. You're going to be taking the one leg back at a time, and you're going to lift the leg up with the toes pointing down at the floor, keeping the ribs pulled up, and then exhaling back down, and then do the other side. Inhale up, toes pointing down, foot flexed, and then foot back down again. And you just keep working from one side to the other. And we're working the same multifidi muscles there. So we're going to take it up a notch from your Shalambhasana. Just have a little break for a second. Bring one of your ears down to the ground and wag your tail a little bit to release any tension. Just kind of swaying your hips side to side. And then setting up for the next level, which is to lift one leg as you come up. So set yourself with your exhale, recruiting all of those muscles all the way down to your lower pelvic floor bowl. And then inhale, lift the right leg up as you lift the head up. And yes, you can lift the hands up too if you'd like to. And then exhale back down. And then left leg lifts up with your inhalation. But each time using the exhalation to reset your core. And then exhale back down. Inhale up, right leg. Keep that chin tucked. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. You can do this 2 more times on each side, please. And Roz, you can keep on working that one leg back at a time. If you want to take it up a notch, Roz, you can come up to your hands and knees and do your opposite arm and leg extension. So as the left leg comes up, the right arm reaches forward, and then bring them down on the exhale. Inhale as you reach up, exhale as you bring them down. And try and keep your balance. Okay, so that everybody doesn't fall asleep, let's take a break, wag your tail, set your head so that it's comfortable. And we're going to just do this a couple of times. We're going to bring our whole body up together. So exhaling to set the core, and then inhaling, head lifts with chin tucked, both legs lift, and both arms can lift. And let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Each time you exhale, we're recruiting and drawing in the transverse abdominis. On an exhale, bring the head back down, relax, wag your tail, reset, and we'll do it one more time. Inhaling to lift up. Don't hold your breath. Keep your chin tucked. Breathe through the nose. Work hard here. You should be feeling a little hot. Should be a little bit of shake maybe. You're making your lower back stronger. The back of your transverse abdominis. And come on down on an exhale. And we'll do our Chakravakasana. Come up to hands and knees. Rock back, 2-part exhale. Inhale forward. Oh, and I see Brooke has joined too. I see you, Brooke. I see you, Brooke. I'm glad you got the link. All right, gotcha. Where are ya? Can't see ya. Struggling to see you, Brooke, for some reason. Maybe you'll come up on the screen in a second. Okay, we're going to come up onto our feet. We're coming all the way up. So once you're done with your Chakravakasana, come on up. Notice how you come up. Which leg did you use? Next time, can you use the other one? Honestly, just working on alternate legs is really important work. We always use one dominant leg, then we're always going to be fatiguing one side of our body. So think about how you can come up with the weird leg, the awkward leg instead. And now that we're up, if you do have a block, that's awesome. Put it between your legs. I hope you got the blocks I sent. Yay, Utah, go Utah, woohoo. So we can stick that block between your legs. If you don't have a block, a cushion will do just fine. And Anaya, I'll get you yours when I physically see you next. And we're doing our Utkatasana, our chair pose. So you've got your feet hip width distance, and we're going to bend the knees slightly. And you can keep your hands on your hips so that you can just feel what your pelvis is doing as you sink down. Is it responding? Are you allowing it to move backwards? It's kind of tipping forward slightly. And then stand back up again, back to neutral. Notice if you come up to this, and can you put on the brakes before that happens? We want to keep the butt back. We want to keep our weight back in the heels. So sink back, and you're kind of back on the heels so far that if you went any further, you might fall over, like you might actually tip over. So maybe you want to lift your toes and feel kind of some of that weightlessness in the front of your foot as you send the butt back into your Utkatasana. And then standing straight back up again, keeping the pelvis in neutral, which means knees aren't going over toes. Knees are staying above the foot. And we're going to set up for a forward fold. So come into your Utkatasana, into your chair, bum is back, spine is nice and long and straight, right? And feel for the crease here in front of your hips, and start bringing your chest forward to become parallel with the floor. And so you feel your fingers getting squeezed between the crease here at the front of your legs, at the tops of your femurs. So you're kind of bringing, and you may need to bend the knees further, bringing the spine parallel with the floor. And we've got a video here so we can check. And then I want you to come back all the way up. Press into your feet, use your glutes, squeeze your glutes together, squeeze the block to come back up into the chair, and then all the way up. Now let's sync the breath with that. Inhale down. Exhale forward. Inhale here, but keeping the posture. And then exhale, press into the feet. Activate your glutes by pressing down into the floor and all the way back up. Cool? Feeling a little bit of heat? I am. Let's come all the way down now. So we'll come all the way forward. Exhaling into this parallel with the floor, and then let your head sink down. If you want to let your hands hang heavy, you can. If you feel a pull in the lower back, bend the knees a little deeper. Let the head go. Let your head hang heavy, Rose. Let it go. Yes. Let it go. And now we have to get ourselves back up again, but we're not going to roll the spine up. We're going to come up the same way that we were just doing that parallel to chair kind of motion. So the first thing to do will be to lift up your head. Keep the chin tucked. Think of what we were doing on the floor with the Shalambhasana, and can you lift up your spine so that it's parallel with the floor, lifting from the legs. And then with the straight spine, feet press into the ground as you exhale all the way up. So that's how you're picking up your baby, maybe, Sarah. This is like, we want you to be able to like keep your spine really engaged and strong, and not being soft, not rolling up with a rounded spine. We want that straight spine every single time. Okay, so now that we're up, let's get rid of that block. Have a little bit of a wiggle jiggle. So undulation is really good for us. It's been studied. Just kind of moving in like really random, crazy ways is a really nice way to reprogram your body and allow for some of those habitual patterns to be kind of unwritten. And we're going to set up for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So let's get the legs set up right. We'll have the right foot forward and the left foot back. And we want to kind of get the pelvis right. So straight away, maybe you notice you've gone into a habitual pattern of letting the belly hang, or letting your butt tuck under to hold yourself up. So let's get back into that Tadasana body where we're lifting the chest, drawing in the ribs, lifting the multifidi and activating the back of the transverse abdominis. And then set yourself up so that you're facing forward over that right foot. There's so much going on. Daisy's like, Blair, what? What do you want me to do? So get your feet out in that Warrior 1 with your legs straight at the front for now, and hips facing forward. If that means you need to widen the stance slightly to be able to turn the hips so that they're both facing forward, then just heel toe the right foot out to the right slightly. And just look back at the back toes, and are they pointing kind of maybe more like a 75 degree? They're pointing straight, somewhat ahead. They're not out to the side, and they're not on a tightrope. They're just out to the side slightly because your hips want you to do that. And Stephanie, I know you have issues with this, with this pose. So once you're set up, I want you to lift the left arm up, please, and then pull it back down again. And notice what happens in your ribs and your pelvis when you do that. So you've got this perfect posture here that we've set up and worked for the last 20 minutes. So how can we contain that posture as we lift the arm up and down? Exhaling down, inhaling up. Doing your core work, standing. And we're going to bring cactus arms out now to the sides. And as we inhale and bend the knee, we reach up and lean forward slightly. And exhale, straighten the leg, cactus arms back. Without this happening. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, draw back, cactus. Wrapping everything around here nice and tight. You feeling a little bit of heat in there? Yeah? Let's try the 2-part exhale here. Inhale, reach forward, leaning forward slightly. You're having to use more of your core muscles by leaning forward. And then exhale halfway, and then exhale all the way. Feeling for lifting from the very base of the pelvic floor. Just paying attention. If it doesn't feel like anything's moving, that's okay. Don't worry. It's just the attention that will start to build those neural pathways. Let's do one more. Halfway, and then all the way. Okay, feet parallel, and let's do the other side. Maybe heel toeing the left leg out to the left slightly so that you can widen the stance. And right arm will reach up and then come back down again. But just notice, just pay attention before you kind of get into the movement. Can you just stop yourself, kind of have that discipline to be like, okay, where are my hips? Where are my ribs? What is my lower back doing? Can I be lifting from the tailbone while I'm also lifting and drawing the ribs towards the pubic bone? So there's anchors going from both sides. We've got a bra around both sides of your body here. Okay, so you're lifting from both sides without allowing this to happen. And then arm starts to go up. And then exhale. And something that I want to reiterate is our bellies are meant to be soft, right? We don't want to have rock hard abs. Our babies wouldn't love that, right? Our babies want to snuggle into a nice soft belly, nice soft breasts. That's why we're women. So I want you to be able to soften the belly as you inhale without it kind of like popping out. And exhale is where the contraction happens. That's where the rock hard abs happen with every breath out. Let's add on the cactus arms, bending into the knee, reaching forward, lean forward slightly, and exhale as you come back up. Make sure the knee isn't going past the toes, please. If you want to work harder, you add the 2-part exhale or even a 3-part exhale to this. The slower you move, the harder it gets. There's going to be some poses we'll be doing in the next couple of weeks that you're just going to be begging me to do it faster. Couple more. Nice lean, Stephanie. You're like right in there, really. And like the more you reach and lean forward, the more you're going to be switching on all of these beautiful babies in your core. But don't go so far that it hurts your lower back, right? We want to work the lower back. We don't want to create any aches there. There should be a little bit of contraction, but no sharp pain, no dull ache. Okay, Let's turn feet parallel, heel toe feet back together again and do a little bit of celebration, undulation celebration. And then stand in your Tadasana, feet just under the hips, hands open to the front. You can close your eyes if you like, and just feel how the upper quadrants of your core are, the lower quadrants, your pelvic floor. Even in this more rested state, are they working a little bit more? How's your lower back feeling? Just noticing. And we're coming down to the floor now. And on your knees, and you might want to have a cushion or a couple of cushions stacked out in front of you. We're going to be doing this forward fold kind of action, but from our knees and in a repetitive kind of motion. I'd like you to bring your hands up and notice what happens in the ribs. Tuck those ribs in as you bring hands up. And we just kind of watch me for a moment as I send my hips back towards my heels, turn my palms back, bring them to the sacrum. The backs of my hands are on the sacrum, and I'm going to send my hips back to my heels as I bring my head down to the floor or to the cushion. And then exhale back up and reach hands up to the ceiling again. Inhale. As the back goes back, as the tailbone lifts, the hips sink to the heels, hands to the backs of your sacrum. Exhale to come back up. And as you come up, one of the cues that really helps me is think about your legs both squeezing together with that imaginary block, but also kind of spreading apart. Think of your sits bones spreading to activate the glutes and kind of recruit the glutes, the outside edge of your butt to lift yourself back up. We don't want to squeeze the butt once we get up there. We just want to recruit that, and that means just kind of the sits bones spread in order to recruit that part of your ass, your beautiful, sexy ass. You know, my husband grabbed me on the butt the other day and he kind of gave it that like meaty kind of thing. He's like, you know, what did he say? Like, I love a meaty butt or something. And I went, really? Meaty? How about like firm and supple and like beautiful and round? Like, how about we work on our butt adjectives here? One thing that also I want you to be conscious of is when you come up, do your hips move too far forward? Because many of us hold our baby with our hips out because we create a shelf. We're stacking the baby on bones because it's easier, because we're not strong enough to hold them with our arms. So we stack them on our bones and we get into this kind of posture that kind of looks something like this. And we don't want that. We want butt back. We want pubic bone down, rolled back and down. We want ribs pulled in. And that's not going to be able to stay like that if the hips pull forward. Okay, when you finished your next round, come on up to your standing knees. And we're going to bring the left leg out to the left at that right angle. And your knee is over the top of your ankle. And you've got stacked joints here on the right side. And we're going to open the left arm. The hand is facing to me, facing to the front. And that hand is going to rest just on the inside of the leg. And I want you to slowly move to the left, creating a little bit of a side bend in the right, allowing for a C curve to start here on the inner side of the left side. And just leaning here to the left slightly, pressing the outside edge of your left arm against the inside edge of the left leg. And if you're feeling nice and stable, you can reach that right hand up and you can take it over. Obviously, you're feeling a really nice stretch through the right side here. I hope that feels all right for your hip rise. If it's too much for the hip, you might come up a little higher. And we're intentionally not bringing that forearm onto the leg just yet. Keep breathing here. Let's do a little neck release while we're here. You know, let's bring that right hand and float it down to the right. And then you can bring your left ear down to the left shoulder. On an exhalation, reach the right hand back up. Bring it up and over and grab the top of your head. Help it. Bring your head back upright and then come all the way up. And we'll do the other side. Right hand up against the inside of the right knee. Check in with what's happening in your ribs. Does this side feel a little different to the other side? Are you kind of, for example, I'm turning more in towards my right leg. So I've obviously got an internal twist in my biology that is kind of dominant on this side. So I have to work harder to lift my chest and draw it around to the left and really lift and chuck in my ribs. And then we can lean a little into that leg, taking the arms slightly down towards the floor until you feel that nice little stretch through the left side without losing control of what's happening here. And then left hand can reach up and over. Keep your attention on your belly. Exhale and draw in the abdominals. Maybe all the way down to the pelvic floor. Maybe you can get there. It'd be really hard to do that, so no pressure. Left hand floats back down towards the floor and you can bring the right ear down towards the right shoulder until you feel that nice little stretch in the left side of the neck. And left hand up and over to find the top of your head. Lift your head up and then come all the way back up. And come back to center. Just Tadasana here as you come back to neutral, just to feel. Something feel a bit weird now that we've done a little bit more asymmetry. Does one side feel a little bit different, a little more stretched, a little more open? And let's do it again on the other side. Actually, did we do left first? We did. And this side, we're coming into the full side angle. So top of the forearm rests on the top of the knee or the top of the thigh. And as you do that, notice what you did to allow for your body to come down onto the side. So can you check back in with your core, your ribs? Hold that composure as you come to the side. And right hand can reach back up too. Breathe. Can you feel those top transverse abdominal muscles still doing their contraction on the exhale? Feel free to bring your hand to your bottom of your ribs if you want to still get that proprioceptive feedback. And bring that right hand back down out to the right and use it to pull you back upright. It's like someone's tugging you over to the right, and then change sides. Set your core. Hand can come down, forearm on top of your thigh. Feel for the length through that left side, and you've got a slight C curve through the right side. But notice if you're having to turn down towards your leg, and can you lift your ribs up and forward? Yeah, nice one, Daisy. And then arm up. Notice what's happening in your shoulder and the right arm. Keep breathing. This is all about the breath. The pose is like the bonus. It's just harder to breathe with that intensity in this side angle because we're in asymmetry right now. And maybe you need some help with the hand. You've got access to it. You can bring that to your ribs. Exhaling to draw ribs together. Inhaling to relax. Left arm floats back down to the left and it draws you back upright. Back to your hands and knees. And then sitting down on your bum, please. Now we're going to do a twist. Sarah, I'd like you to do your twist with your either your legs out in a wide V or in Baddha Konasana. And everybody else, we can twist the left leg in under the right and cross it up and over. So you're kind of crossing that right leg up and over as if you're crossing legs. Yeah, nice. But I'd prefer, Sarah, if you are able to kind of sit more with an open abdomen. And the trick here, a lot of times when we're twisting, we kind of cheat. We torque our spine by pulling on the leg. And so I'd like you to thread the left arm through underneath the right leg and just reach for the floor underneath you, and then reach with the right hand behind you and sit up straight. All you're doing is trying to just keep that upright posture. You're not trying to twist or look back. I just want you to have that right arm back and then sit up nice and straight. And same thing for you, Sarah. You're just taking the left hand over to the left ankle, right hand behind you, and you're sitting up nice and straight and allowing from the mid spine. Good morning, Rebecca. Hi, beautiful. And then you could twist from the mid spine over to the right slightly. Keep the two-part breathing if you can. And inhale back to center. Switch sides, or if you're Sarah, same side, but you'll be turning the other way. Right hand threads in underneath the left leg, reach for the floor, left arm behind you, and sit up nice and straight. Concentrate on length instead of twist, and the twist will happen. Keep the chin tucked. Can you draw your head back a little bit, Rose? So your head's kind of more upright. Yeah, and your chin is still in there. Yeah. Two-part exhale if you can. Other side. Use the exhalation to make you feel taller. To contract your body so that perhaps it twists a tiny fraction more to the left. The way you would rinse out a wet rag. It has to be contracted to turn. On an inhale, back to center, please. Legs out in front of you. Let's do a wide-legged Paschimottanasana, wide-legged, feet flexed. You can bring your hands out in front of you and just notice straight away what's happening in your pelvis. So many of us, it's really hard to do anything other than let the pubic bones kind of come forward and the tailbone comes down. So can you really work hard to roll the pelvis forward, bringing the pubic bone down towards the floor? If that's just way too much for your inner thighs or it's just not working for you, then that's where a cushion helps. I'd rather you have a cushion or bend your knees slightly. That just feels like maybe you can get your pubic bone a little closer to the floor by bending the knees, then go there. That's all good. They help with the superficial back line of your fascia. If you bend the knees slightly, it allows you to stretch more in the lower back, apparently, according to the fascia people, the fascists. So once you're feeling nice, that was mean, right? I shouldn't say that, the fascia people. So sitting up nice and straight, we're going to tip forward, just like we did the forward fold earlier in class, keeping the spine long and straight until your hamstrings are going to tell you, I've gone too far. I've gone far enough, thank you very much. You might find you want to go all the way to the floor, and that's totally fine with me. Not if you're pregnant, Sarah, just saying. Because you probably can go to the floor, but that's because of the relaxin, and we don't want you to overstretch the ligaments because they're not going to bounce back, and you know the deal. So once you've got as far as you can go and your hamstrings are happy with you, you still feel nice and long and strong, you can feel perhaps your multifidi engaged in the mid to lower back, you can let your head hang heavy and round your shoulders. Just letting the head go is a signal to your nervous system that you're safe, that you can relax. Now, with the same attention to detail as our forward fold earlier in class, lift the head up first, keeping the chin tucked, obviously, but head is lifted. And then straight spine, recruiting from the base so that you can lift yourself straight back up. And then bring your legs together and give them a little bit of a wiggle jiggle. Now, I'm going to give you one quick bridge, everybody, and then we're doing Shavasana, and then we're getting on with day. So bridge it, baby. How are you getting into your bridge? Are you going to lay straight back on your back? No, but you're welcome to do this. You're welcome to do some rolls if you'd like to, but I would prefer everybody to practice coming to this side and then over onto your back. This is one of the easiest #1 ways to heal a diastasis in your recti. So always coming to the side rather than doing a crunch. Hands by your hips on the floor, feet press into the ground. Exhale, lift the tailbone. Keep exhaling, lift the hips up. Inhale once you're up. Exhale, 2-part breathing all the way down. Inhale to reset. Exhale, lift the bridge all the way up. Inhale here. And then 3-part exhale down to the floor. As your hips go down, you're emptying completely. And then bring your knees in towards the belly or to the sides of your ribs if you're Sarah and baby's in the way. And Apanasana, knees out, then knees in as you exhale. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, knees in. Then bring one of your legs out, perhaps to about a 45-degree angle, and slowly lower it to the floor. Other leg out, slowly lower it to the floor, keeping ribs tucked down. Shavasana, mama. If lying flat on the floor is not going to work for you, I'd love your legs up on a chair or up on the side of the bed or on the couch or up against the wall, something underneath your hips. Lying flat doesn't work for all of us, particularly if we have hip and SI stuff going on. So find that happy place for your sacrum. so that you can lay here and just observe your body for 1 minute. We're 1 minute over time, but we can give ourselves 1 minute. One of the things that we're going for after all of this work is a really good resting tension. That's the formal word for it. We want resting tension. So we're not walking around holding our belly in all day or sucking in our belly. We want, when our belly is soft, to also have tone. We want, when it's completely flexed and contracted, to also be movable and flexible. We don't want to be rigid. So just allow yourself to be completely relaxed in your Shavasana and noticing how your belly moves. It's soft and it's strong. We have to know how and when to recruit these muscles, but we don't need them all the time. We just want them to be strong enough and able enough to jump in whenever we need it. Bend both of your knees, please, and roll to your side. And make your way up to your bum. Bring your hands to the top of your core and the bottom of your core. You now know you've got these 4 quadrants to work with, to recruit. Hi, Daisy's mom. Good morning. Everyone's up now. So as you walk through your week this week, please continue with your diaphragmic breathing and also feeling for the lower part of your TA being recruited on the breath out. And next week, we will actually go deeper right into the Muladhara, and we'll integrate this whole thing, this whole beautiful thing that we've got going on here, so that we have beautiful pelvic floors for the next 40 years of our life, and feel really good and strong and happy and awesome. Reach your hands out and up. Inhale, tuck those ribs in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Namaste, beautiful mamas. Have a wonderful day. When you stand up, notice which leg you're standing up with. Use the other one and start finding ways to be awkward throughout your week. That's your homework. Awkward. Be awkward all week, except for Roz. Just get out of bed the wrong way. Namaste.